did. It like left a little. So if we poured more water in there. It's up to you. So there's 2 chairs here. So Reverend Jennifer started to like cover the Trinity words over here. So she'd sit in one of the chairs and I'd sit in the chair. But then later on, obviously, she's up in the chair. Okay. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing. Oh. We have this for everyone. Oh, okay. It's glass.
Oh, great.
And
yeah,
it's
that's
not much better.
Thank you, Debbie. My hero.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Desiree, and I'm your lay worship leader for today's service. I warmly welcome you to First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church in Bridgewater. I have been coming here for almost 8 years, officially been a member for 3, and I serve as president of the parish committee. I'm also on the choir and part of Tone Chimes as well. Before we begin, and what I love about First Parish is the people. I honestly love seeing your faces every day, every Sunday when I come in. You guys make this place such a fabulous place to be, so thank you. Before we begin our time of worship, we do have some announcements. So from the Facilities Committee, a big thank you to all the folks who helped yesterday to clean and declutter the sanctuary, the vestibule, and the upper and lower parish halls. We also weeded the garden outside the door and put up new lights in the upper parish hall and provided coffee and munchies. So thank you to David Wilson, Bob Messing, Quent Jarvis, Deb Baumgarten, Pat Hart, Linda Dunphy, Rachel Tedesco, Pam Hayes Bohannon, Beth Parlatore, did I say that right? Denise Haskins, and Pastor Rosemary. So let's give these folks a round of applause. Also, some additional messages from Debbie. We are looking for volunteers to host coffee hour. So please see Debbie or sign up at the clipboard in the upper parish hall. Lunches for Conway House will be made in the lower parish hall following social hour today. If you'd like to join, let Debbie know. She will collect you when it is time to go downstairs and start making them. There is also a lost and found bin on the bench in the hallway just outside here, leading to the upper parish hall. Please check the bin if you're missing a water bottle or anything. That'll be where our lost and found is. And Jenny has some announcements.
Good morning. So I'm Jenny Donahue, representing the Religious Education Program. And we have it's kind of an old new thing. We're going to go back to Kids in the Kitchen once a month. And the idea is that all of you will be the corresponding adults that help these kids bake something that will go to coffee hour as a special thing. I have already volunteered myself as adult number 1 for next Sunday, but we always like to have 2 adults when we're working with our children. So we're looking for pairs of what I'm calling adults, but maybe your teenage child or grandchild that's come to visit will also be considered. That could be in the adult number 2 category. And so you're just going to be asked to cook with our potential 4 children. We've got 4 really great ones, and maybe Aaron might want to participate. Old enough? Yes? No? Maybe so. But it's another sign-up sheet, okay? And this is really, we are trying to change how RE works in this community. We need your help. We need your contributions. We are a church. We do potluck dinners, so this is like potluck church school. We need people to interact with our young ones if we're going to create and grow a program. So I'm going to say I'm adult number 1 for next week, looking for a partner. Okay? All right, thanks.
And that was perfect, because piggybacking off of that, I wanted to let you guys know, and if Jenny wanted to speak to this or not, but for this year, for religious education, what our plan is the first service of every month will be intergenerational, so everyone is welcome to attend. The second service of the month will be Kids in the Kitchen, just as Jenny mentioned. And then the fourth service of the month will be Family Chapel in the Upper Parish Hall. So kids are always welcome here at First Parish. Okay. First Parish Bridgewater is a welcoming congregation. We proudly fly the rainbow flag to symbolize our welcome to people of all identities, ages, and backgrounds. If you're new to First Parish, we hope you enjoy your experience this morning. We encourage you to fill out the guest book on the table at the rear of the sanctuary, making sure to include your email address so you receive church updates. For newcomers joining online, please see the sign-up link that will be posted in the chat. We invite all who are here in person to join us after the service for a time of fellowship in the Upper Parish Hall, so right through those doors. The service is being hosted via Zoom and recorded for Bridgewater Cable TV, and the camera is turned off to protect your privacy during the sharing of joys and sorrows. In the event of an emergency or evacuation drill, please leave the building through the main sanctuary doors behind you, or should you need a ramp, through the School Street entrance to my left. So it's out this door and to the left. You are all welcome here. Thank you for joining us, and your presence makes a difference. We will now begin our time of worship with the prelude. Would Hadley please come forward to light our chalice? And please join me in reciting our chalice lighting words. They should be up on the screen. We light our chalice to mark this sacred hour. As we gather in this beautiful historic sanctuary, both in body and in spirit, we connect to the many generations that have come here to explore the divine. Let us join our hearts and find the holy in our relationship to each other. It is time to share worship together. And please rise in body or spirit, and let us join our voices for the affirmation of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is it. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another.
Our opening words this morning are by the Reverend Gretchen Haley. This is a call for all the people longing for liberation, all who wander too often in the desert, not sure of the way forward, too often thirsty and afraid, looking for water. Here is a call to collect ourselves and the hopes we have tucked away, set aside too often for another day. Here, we are building a welcome table that never finds its end, a river that cannot run dry. The waters are always rapid, and then still, steady, and then waterfalls. There is nothing tidy or perfect possible in this journey. Abundant life is messy and glorious, filled with risk. This is a call for the diving in with all the dreams of your heart, the struggles, the silliness, the fear, the hunger, the courage, the community, the love. Here we remember the time for joy is always now. Come, let us worship together. Please join me in singing our opening hymn, number 121, We'll Build a Land. You can rise as you're able.
Now is the time in our service for the sharing of joys and sorrows, those matters of great personal significance that touch us, our families, and our loved ones. For this service, though, we please ask that you light a candle silently so we can keep the ritual moving slowly and the service continuing. Thank you. And I did light one last candle for all those joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in our hearts.
Let's take a moment now and center ourselves for a moment of prayer. I invite you to center yourself in whichever way works best for you, whether that's a deep breath, a big stretch, wiggling your toes and finding the ground. In this gathered community, we take time to mark the start of the week, the movements of the seasons, and the joining of our lives into a beloved community. It's in our connections that the divine reveals itself. So settle into this time, knowing that you are divine exactly as you are, and listen now for what your heartbeat has brought to this community today. We hold the joys and sorrows of our lit candles in our hearts, along with all those held deeply within each of us. Spirit of life and love, we gently hold these joys and sorrows and all those that remain. Let us pray today and each day that the world may know peace and bounty. Let us live lives with an abundance of compassion. Help us to reach out to one another, even when we are tired, when we are afraid or tender. Let us know the joy of catching one another when we stumble or when the weight of the world feels too heavy. Let us know the joy of being held, of being open to our emotions, of being open to connection and to community. Spirit of life, let us find hope, and let hope find us again and again. In all of this, let love be our guide. Let's have a moment of silent meditation. Blessed be.
Each Sunday, we collect an offering to support the ministries of the church and the mission of a community organization that shares our faith values. This month, our contributions from our collection plate are being shared with School on Wheels, whose mission is to support the academic, social, and emotional growth of students that are impacted by homelessness and poverty. You can also donate online through the First Parish Church's website. And this morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Today's reading comes from Reverend Meg Barnhouse. This is an excerpt of one of her sermons called Many Rivers to Cross. She says, "Can we wonder, as we struggle with despair over cruelty and injustice, I wonder what would happen if we were as persistent as water? I say we, because one little drop of water is not going to make any kind of a groove, much less a canyon. These are our waters together, and they teach us that if enough drops get together, they will have to work harder to evaporate us, to mop us up, to make us go away. Remember the story of King Canute, who ruled England long ago. Walking by the shore, his followers, sycophants, and so-called advisors praised him, the way some rulers like to be praised. "O king, you are the greatest man in the world. All bow before you. None would dare disobey you. You shall have anything you want, and your will shapes the universe." Canute was a man of good sense, and he grew tired of this foolish talk. "Bring me my chair, and I will command the waves." He sat up and held his hand, commanding the waves. "Very well, see," cried Canute, "I command you, come no further. Waves, stop rolling. Surf, stop your pounding. Do not dare touch my feet." He waited a moment, quietly, and a tiny wave rushed up the sand and lapped at his feet. "How dare you?" Canute shouted. "Ocean, turn back now. I have ordered you to retreat before me, and now you must obey. Go back." No ruler on earth, no company boss, no president can hold back the people forever if they demand justice. Hong Kong, Moscow, in myriad US towns, the people move. Like water, flexible, persistent, together. It's not in your program, but our choir will now come forward and sing our anthem, "Like a Mighty Stream." It's now time for our water communion. As the long days of summer recede and make way for the coming season, we again gather together at our wonderful time of 10:30 a.m. And we ritualize by the gathering of water from our summers our intention to build together a reminder, a touchstone of our greatest aspirations and hopes for our ministry together and for the community during the coming months and year. Our coming together is more than merely returning to this familiar place. It's a strengthening and renewing our promise to embody a welcoming faith community of caring, support, and service. A commitment made by each one of us to one another. A commitment made by those of you who were here before us and by those of you who ventured here for the first time today. A commitment to be taken up by the seekers who will cross our threshold in the weeks, months, and years to come. Each of you, some of you may have brought water with you from your travels or from your home from this summer of time apart from our sanctuary. If you don't have water, I don't either. That's what the pitcher is for. The collecting of this water represents that each of us in this community adds something beautiful and unique, changing the congregation, and that we each receive something in return, changing us. This exchange is enduring. Those who are no longer with us leave behind something of themselves. And today we freely add something of ourselves to our community. We'll keep this water through the year to be used in other rituals after I put it through a Brita or boil it on the stove or something. I invite everyone who wishes to participate to come forward in a moment. I'll invite you to share into the microphone, very briefly, in 1 to 2 sentences, where this water comes from and your intention for this community this year. Where this water comes from, a meaningful place, symbolic or not, and your intention, what you're bringing to this community this year. Very brief, it can be 2 words even. And I'll start with my symbolic water and my intention, and then you're welcome to line up along the center aisle, okay? We got it, Alan? Yeah, okay. Great. This is water from the Pacific Ocean. And my intention is to bring my full self to this community.
This water is from my ocean camp and the beach that I went with my friend.
This is actual ocean water from Nantastic Beach, which is my happy place, and revitalizing our energy.
This water is from Victoria Falls in Africa. But my intention is just kindness and love as we deal with this season.
This water represents the ponds and streams in the Stiles and Hart Recreation Area, just a few blocks from my home, a dream, a wish come true, wooded walks near me. My intention for this church is to bring my best self here each day, each Sunday that I'm in town.
This water is from a small little pond in Hanson, Mass, where I went kayaking this summer for the first time this year because I had my knee replaced and I wasn't sure I could do it, but I did, although getting out of it wasn't so pretty. But my intention is that I keep trying and that all of you keep trying to do things you're not sure you can.
This water is from the Atlantic Ocean, from Fort Pierce through Bermuda, through Buzzards Bay, up to Bar Harbor. And my intention for this church this year is to see where what I can give can fit into what the church needs.
This water represents the different areas that our hiking group does every Monday morning for all the Taunton watershed areas we've been to. And my intention is to keep moving and to keep supporting the church in any way I can.
This symbolic water is the water that Kat and I have been carrying with us to keep ourselves hydrated while we work and play inside and out. And I'm not sure about intention. I guess our intention is to try to keep the congregation quenched.
This water is for my house, because we really didn't go anywhere to vacation this summer, but this, to me, stands for the worship committee that met in retreat with Pastor Rosemary in August, and we had a really good gathering. And so my intention this year is to continue working as chair of the worship committee in bringing great worship to this congregation.
This water is from our well that keeps us nourished year-round, and in the summer keeps my garden growing even during dry spells.
So for me, this symbolizes being able to gracefully accept the fact that chapters end in life and endings come, and being able to accept that in order to make way for new positive beginnings and new adventures.
This water is from Western Massachusetts and Springfield, Virginia, and my intention is to contribute to peace and healing.
This water is from Lake Nipanicut, where I see the joy, two grandsons, 8 and 5, and the joy that nature brings to them.
This water is from my home, and it represents the heart of my family. And my intention is to be, I don't know what my intention is, but I'm working on that.
I was planning on bringing tap water anyway, and I forgot. So this is wonderful. My intention is really to appreciate all those little things that aren't really little things, like tap water, and that we have it freely flowing.
Our water is from Star Island, which is our happy place, and my intention is to find balance.
The water is from Martha's Vineyard, where I spent some days with my daughter enjoying her company on the island. And my intention is to continue gently twisting people's arms.
My water is tap water. It's from Bridgewater, and it's for my garden, which it grew successfully for the second year in a row, and it came out better than the first year, so that was nice. Just in general, water is a great thing, you know. I have to have it all the time. Thank you.
I'm Karen Reed Messing, and my water's from the tap of the mobile home in which we're living since our house burned. It's representative of all of the water that firemen from 6 different towns poured on the house to try and put it out. And the water from the mobile home in which we have no idea how long we're going to be. And Bob and I grew up in Michigan, which is, you know, is the Great Lakes state. We both grew up on water. And so I've always been a fan of water.
This water is from Crystal Geyser. I drink it every day. And my intention is to help the church in any way I can this year.
This water is from our pool, where we gathered at the end of last year together, and lots of fun was had over the summer. And my intention today is to anoint this wonderful new beginning with joy.
So the waters that I've brought to you today represent all the swimming and boating that I did this summer, starting up in Lake St. Catherine in Vermont, Buzzards Bay, Cape Cod Bay, here locally, the Rainham Athletic Club swimming pool, but I also went to Greece, so the Aegean Sea and the Ionian Sea part of the Mediterranean. My intention is to be my best self, that someone else already mentioned, but to encourage all of you, to guide you, to coach you, to whatever I need to do to help you be your best self amongst our children in the RE program.
That was my glorious tap water. Our well was hit in May by lightning, and for 6 weeks, our water did not taste wonderful at all. It was horrid, and then it came back. And you all quenched my thirst starting in January, so I hope I can help quench somebody else's. Oh, wrong thing.
It's really good tap water.
Oh, it's wonderful.
My water is good old-fashioned Taunton tap water that nourishes me and nourished my garden very poorly this year. My intention for this year is to continue to be nourished by this community and to nourish others better than my garden did this summer. Thank you.
This Bridgewater tap water stands in for the Bridgewater tap water I would have brought anyway, symbolizing this was the first time in a long time we spent most of the summer here in Bridgewater, and it's also the, if things go to plan, the last time we'll be spending the summer in Bridgewater. So this, I guess my intention, and I think our intention, is to have a good year of transition.
Most of you can probably guess that this water comes from Cuttyhunk Harbor. Those of you who saw, well, all of you saw the choir and heard the choir have probably noticed there are some new members and some returning ones. So my intention this year is to keep on making music and maybe sign up some new members of the choir. See me at coffee hour if you'd like to join.
This water is symbolic of the waters I didn't really get to enjoy this year. You know, I love to swim and stuff, and I haven't really had an opportunity to be up close with the water like I love. And my intention this year is just to be more mindful and actively present and involved in the community than I've been the past number of years.
And this water is from the dew that collected on my box of nasturtium that I have out in our little center garden area. I went out this morning and was looking at the petals of the flowers and these beautiful, beautiful droplets, and I thought, you know, I'm going to collect some of those. So I shook each one into this jar. And my intentions are to continue to practice loving kindness.
And I'm not going to add a little bit of final water for all those who are not here with us today, who are here in spirit. The water is now joined together, and the congregation is gathered anew. In the pouring of this water, each of us contributes to and commits to the growth and vitality of this beloved community. Each of us is called to be and to become part of something more. Today, we give thanks for this community, a place and a people who we pledge to journey with, build alongside, have faith in, and love. Amen, and blessed be. I want to talk about a couple miracles today. Not the kind you're thinking of, probably, but the small ones. First, I think it is no small miracle that we, Unitarian Universalists, still gather in our historic churches of our own free will in religious and spiritual community. No small miracle. I have met few groups of people who are less interested in institutions, who are less trusting implicitly of structures of authority. Yet week after week, we choose to gather together in community with one another, to join ourselves together around a set of common values with shared purpose. Our congregations are a little microcosm of the larger world. Each one is different. It holds a fraction of the larger community of people in the area, and yet in that fraction, in this community here, are multitudes of stories, of backgrounds and experiences. There is so much depth. In this little world of our congregation, we are privileged. We get to build relationships, structures, and yes, committees. Oh, lucky us. Here we have groups which meet for fellowship, justice-making work, and to do the work of running our church. And that is no small work. We're guided by our covenant. We hold no creed in common, no statement of belief or test of faith that there is only one right answer in how to do this together. Instead, our covenant holds the heart and intention of our practices. It's the how of it all, a set of actions, values, dreams, an affirmation of the kind of world that we want to create together. In this chosen faith community, we know that our lives are bound up with one another's and with that of the world. And our shared values, they are not small. They look for a world which is more peaceful, communities which are more connected, and they call us into doing this work together to make our congregations a home for all those who wish to join us. And so each week, a miracle happens again and again. We raise up hope, and our world is full of miracles. And I don't mean the otherworldly kind, although if you have any stories, I would love to hear them. Please share them with me sometime. No, miracles like love wearing down the walls that divide us. Those are stories I am privileged to hear in this job, constantly. There's a phrase that has been stuck in my head for a long time. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Have any of you heard this? I Googled it this week, and it's from a song called Love is the Water by the band Brother Sun. It was written by Joe Jenks. And in our spiritual community, we come together for nourishment, for that feeling of hope in our chests when we hear something like the choir singing today, but also we come for challenge. We come for the wellspring of spirit in us to be empowered, and we come to learn about what is going on in the world that needs our love and care. We come together to know that we can make a difference, that we can do more together than we can do alone, that we are powerful, that persistently, like drops of water collecting into a river, we can make a difference in the world. We know this because of the geology of the earth. Picture a canyon that has been carved out of the rock. Smooth sandstone once stood tall, and over a long time a river wore it all the way down. Injustice is like that, and justice is the river. Many of you thoughtfully shared about the tap water you brought here today, about the privilege of having access to clean, safe tap water or the experience of not. And I am someone who has always been privileged to have access to clean, safe water. All over the world right now, from Gaza to Sudan to cities right here in the United States, water is both a human right and it is so inaccessible to so many people. Waterborne diseases, floods, and the increase in natural disasters caused by climate change, all of these come along with the great power of water. And so, let us bless the water we have brought here today and think about its power. We can bless the miracle of this community, the larger miracle of the water that sustains us, and get ready to go forth from this place, empowered to serve the human family and our planet. And now, I would like to try an experiment in a little bit of embodied power building. Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to come down from the pulpit, and I'm going to do an action, and when I pass in front of your section of the pew, you're going to change to that action, all right? Simple as that. And if I pass in front of your pew doing nothing, you change to doing nothing. All right? Let's all stand up. Settle your mind upon the strength, the power that is yours. Draw that strength into your heart. Draw it up into your soul. As we have gathered the many waters of this community, we need each of your power, each of your resilience, each of your love to make us whole. Blessed be. As you're able to sing our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
The time has come to extinguish our chalice. So please join me in our chalice extinguishing words.
We